Hey guys, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at an old Stonemaier game called Euphoria, Building a Better Dystopia. Euphoria is a game for 2 to 6 players from Stonemaier Games. Plays in 45 to 60 minutes probably, depending on how quickly people play and, the whole thing, how many players. And what you're doing in this is you are using dice as workers. They're going to have certain values, so this will be a 6 value when it's on the 6 pip, or a 4 value if it's on the 4. And you're trying to send them out to the world to gather fruit, gather resources, to basically build markets and turn everything finding artifacts, turn all that into points. And it's basically a race to be the first player to put 10 stars out on the board. It's a dystopian theme. There is some theme. I'm not going to go into the theme a ton because I never do, but it's a dystopian theme. So there is that kind of to draw you into if you're into that. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go down to the table, see how it plays. All right, here's a game of Euphoria. All set up for 2 players. Setup's mostly the same at all player counts, except you're going to block off these spaces here for every player you don't have. So in a 2-player game, you're going to have 2 of the 6 spaces. In a 6-player game, they'd all be open. So that's the only real difference. You're going to give each player an ethical dilemma card, which is basically going to be something that they can choose to do throughout the game by spending an artifact. But it's also going to have the icons listed. So you're going to use it for the reference guide until you use ethical dilemma, and then you can just flip it and look at the icons. Each player will draw 2 recruits. You'll put one of them face up and one face down. The other one will be unlocked maybe at a certain point in the game, and then you're going to give each player 10 stars, so they're going to be able to exert their influence out on the board. And then you're going to put out 6 of the market spaces face down, put all the miners on the start spaces of the tunnels, and block off these 3 tunnel spaces because they're not available until a miner gets to the end. And each player is going to start with their heart, which is I think their morale on 1, and their intelligence on +3. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the way the game works is you're going to use dice that have the pip value will be the strength of your worker, and you're going to place your dice out on one of the spaces. Any space that has a dotted outline will be able to be bumped by another player. You'll roll it, or yourself, and then you'll have that worker back to play again. So Stonemaier's been doing that a lot on a lot of their newer games, and that's kind of how it works in this one. All right, so I've already rolled. This player's going to go first because they have more pips, and then this player will be second. So on your turn, you have 2 options. You can either put a die out on the board and take the action, or you have to pull your dice back, roll them, and then check some maintenance stuff. So that's what you can do. So I want to start working on getting some cards. So let's go, and I am an E. So let's go over here. I'm going to go to the generator. I'm going to collect some electricity. So when you go to the generator, you're going to look at the value of the pips, the total collected pips in there, because this is a space that everybody can go to and it doesn't get bumped out. So I put a 4. So 1 through 4 will give me 1 lightning bolt. And it's going to advance this marker on the track. That's what it does. Should I put my other die in there, it would be a 10, and I would do all of this stuff over here. And that's the end of my turn. That's what I did. Then it'll be the other player's turn. They have a 2 and a 3. They can kind of do the same thing. They're going to go up to the top with their 3, and they're going to get some bliss. So bliss is this resource, and they're going to move up the Icarites 1 space. All right, back to me. I have a 6. What do I want to do? I'm just going to go keep getting some electricity. So I'll come up here. I'm now at a 10. So I get 2 electric. So I'll just move this down for a 3. There's plenty in a 2-player game. I'm just using this because it's easier. And then my smarts will get 1 smarter, which is not really good. It's not as big a deal right now, but it could bite us in the butt later. All right, then black, they want to take some actions. They want to get some other goods as well. They're going to go to the farm. They will get a fruit. And the farming or I forget what they're called, the Wastelanders, will go up 1. All right, so now it's back to green. On my turn, I have to pull back my workers because I don't have any. I can choose 1, 2, up to all of them, but I need to pull back at least 1. So I'm going to go ahead and pull back both of them. Then I'll roll. Then I'm going to look at the value. So I have 8 plus this, 4, 12. If ever I'm at equal to or greater than 16, I have to lose a die. So I'm not close to that yet. It's hard to do with 2 dice. Unless you're all the way up at the 6, then it's possible. But yeah, we don't have to worry about that right now. So that's my turn. Then we'll go back to black. They have to do the same thing. So they're going to grab their guys. Double 6s, and they're at a 3, so they're 15, so they're fine. Now we have double, so I'll explain how that works on their next turn. I'm going to go here. I'm going to spend 3 lightning or electricity, and I'm going to get a new worker. So what happens there is, because I paid electricity, I could get 2 of my intelligence. I get 2 dumber. So that's going to make it so I can roll in dice and have less of a probability of busting. Then I'm going to take a new die and I'm going to roll it in. I'm going to look at these. I have 10 plus 2. I have 12. 9 out of 16. No issue. And that's my turn. Then it'll be this player's turn. Now they have doubles. So what that lets them do is they get to take 2 turns in a row. So they can take a 6. They'll take the action. Then they can go again. Take a different action if they want to. And I think I want to go here. I have to spend an orange or a fruit. So I spend the fruit. Now I can take either a brick or a card, and they scowl move 1. I'm going to go ahead and take a brick because I want to show you another action. Or clay, I think is what it is. So I now have a clay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my other die. I'm going to go over here to this clay spot. I spend my clay. And now I'm contributing to this market. Now, that's their turn. Now it's back to me. I have doubles. I can do the same thing. I need to get a resource as well, or I'm going to be in trouble. So let's see. Let's go. Yeah, I'm going to go over there. So I'm going to bump this up. Now, this is going to unlock this bonus. So whenever you are that faction, which neither one of us are, the Wastelanders, and you go here, you're going to get an extra fruit. So that's nice, but that's not going to apply now. So they're going to get 1 fruit, or I'm going to get 1 fruit. And then my smarts are going to go down 1 more because I put a 5 value pip. Now on my second turn, I'm going to go bump this player out. So they'll roll the die, roll it in. They got a 1. Then I'm going to spin my fruit, and I'm going to take a clay as well. All right, now it's back to them. They have a 1. They're going to come back over here and get some more bliss. So they'll take another bliss, and they will move this. Now, if you are an Icarite and you come up here and get bliss in this market, you can take an extra 1. Now it's back to me, back to green. I have to take my workers off. There's a step that I missed when you take your workers off. When you take your workers back, you have to either pay a fruit or a bliss to gain 2 hearts, or you can just lose a heart. I'm at 1 heart right now, so I'm going to do the lose a heart because you can't go less than 1. So I roll. I have 2, 5, 7, plus 1. I'm at 8, so I'm good. Black has to do the same thing. They're going to pull their workers back. Their hearts are at 1, so they're going to take the hearts decrease. They're at 10, 13, so they're good. Now on my turn, I have doubles, so I'm going to go ahead and use my doubles. I will come over here. Oh, shoot. I can't take that 1 off. Just kidding. So this one will stay there because I didn't want to pull that off because I need to keep contributing to the market. So now I'm going to come over here with my green one, pay a clay, and we're going to build this market. So what happens now is we both get our dice back. This building flips. We roll in our dice, and we would still look at our total and make sure we don't bust or anything. And then we're each going to put a star on this. And this game ends. It's a race to whoever can get the first 2 stars out. And now we're going to have another special ability, another way we can spend a resource, our commodity, and glasses to put a star over there in the bank. If you didn't contribute to the market and it gets built, you wouldn't get to put a star, and you're also going to suffer the penalty that's on the bottom. But we both contributed, so there's no issue there. And then I have a second 2. I'm not sure if the other 2 that I rolled gets to be played, so I'm just going to leave it out. So for my second double, I'm going to go here, collect some electricity. So that will come up. Oh, and when I contribute on a construction site, I may increase this by 1 level. So this is actually up an extra 1. Now, next time I come here, because I'm the E, which is the Euphorians, I can come here and get an extra electricity. So I take 1 electricity. Then back to black. They want to... I want to get a card. I want to show you how that works. So let's go... I'm just going to get another good. So I'll come here, bump the Wastelanders up 1, and I will take a fruit. All right. Then back to green. Green is going to... I'll show you how to do it. So green's going to come here, move the miner, spend an electricity, and now when I do this, because there's no bonus here, because we haven't unlocked it yet, I can either pick gold or a card, and I'm going to pick a card. The card is the crux of the games. The cards are different artifacts, so this is a board game. There's board games, there's teddy bears, there's deflated balloons, books, a baseball bat, some glasses. I believe that's all. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get either 3 different ones or 2 of the same artifact to take them to these spaces that have the 3 cards. You can see the icon here, the 3 cards, but you have to look down here. 2 of the same is equal to 3 cards. And once I get 2, so say I have these 3 cards, then on another turn I could come up here. I could spin the 3 cards, put a star down in this section or on a market if I didn't contribute to the build, and then I'm 1 step closer to winning. And it's also going to bump up the Euphorian. And that's the crux of the game. So you're trying to go to get resources, convert the resources, push the certain tracks up so you can get some icon, get special abilities and be the first player to get 10. There's also another thing you can do. You can, if I got a baseball bat, I could cash it in, or 2 of any artifact, to do an ethical dilemma. It's going to let me get more recruits and draw 2 more recruits and keep 1, or to put a star. So I can turn that in, put a star. It's going to help me get closer to getting my stars out. Or, one more thing. Once one of these hits the end, so say, who do I have? So say this track got all the way to the end, both the bonuses get put out where they would go. So the water would go here, this one would go here. This gets all the way to the end. Well, first when it gets to this tier, if you have any of those face down, you'll flip it. So I have one, I would flip it. Now I have the ability of both of these characters. Then, if it gets to the last space, any character you have that's in that faction, you can put a star on. So I could put a star on that. If this player had 2 of the Icarites, and they flipped it, they get to put 2 stars down. You get to put a star down for every person of that faction that you have. And you're going to keep playing like that until someone has placed all of their stars, and they are the winner. That's how you play Euphoria. Let's go up to the top, see what they think about it. All right, well, that was Euphoria. I got to say, this was probably one of the first Stonemaier games I played. I think I played Viticulture and then this one. This still holds up. I like it quite a bit. This was one of the first games I played that had the bumping, where you could go to a worker spot and bump somebody else out, which is pretty cool. And I also like the fact that, yes, you have dice that are workers, but their values can change. And based on the value, sometimes that's going to matter when you're going to collect resources and all that. Sometimes the value matters. And when you're taking your worker back, you're going to do a knowledge check. If your workers are too smart, you're going to lose some people. So it's kind of cool. It's a cool mechanism. But ultimately, at its heart, this is a worker placement game. You're taking a die, you're going to a spot, you're collecting the things, and then you're turning the things in to put stars out on the board. That's the whole game. But I like this game quite a bit. I love the secret recruit that you have, that no one knows who you're also in alliance with. So you may be, do an Icarite because you have an Icarite, but your other card might be Icarite too. And then, you can get that track all the way to the end, you get put 2 stars down. That is awesome. I love the components. I didn't show you a ton, but it's got cool water droplets, the fruit, which I did show you in the overview, the lightning bolt, which is electricity. Oh, here's gold. A gold brick, which is not that exciting, but the lightning is really neat. I like all this. And these little miner guys, you can't really see them. They're not necessary. It could be a cube, but that's just a little extra touch. I like everything about this game. It's got tongue-in-cheek text on some of these cards. Laboratory of Selective Genetics. So if I unlock this, it's the Laboratory of Selective Genetics. You're making people have the genes that you want, which is, pure dystopian stuff. I like this game quite a bit. It's good. I'm going to keep it around. It's super fun. It plays well at all player counts. Maybe at 2, you're not going to be doing as much bumping because that's just the nature of a beast in a 2-player worker placement game. But you play this with 4 or 5, there's going to be a lot of bumping, and it's going to get a little more interesting. I have played it at 5, and I do like it. I like it at all player counts I played at, which I think I've never played at 6, but I've played at everything else. And it's good at all player counts, in my opinion. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. It's going to get an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale that means absolutely nothing. But we have to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Euphoria from Stonemaier Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.